The video. We call die, which a Lord, welcome to Kunman Hot Talk Show. Yen Wobgol, Yen look at a look here. Yen Chodan look here on your walls or your with your network. Can I get you big by coin, big Wellman pay? Can walk him while a twin who can video can go look here on my side. Can give your mere but first interview for 2022. Evaluate one of our brother geologists adore Makuna adore. In geologists adore Makuna adore in your lord, in your late for your time. Can buy Ben Mears, Imante, a Kagalo twin. Yen Kawabula twin. Kayen in Conti, the question twin in Banyador, Makuna adore. By introduction, by introduction to Baloy, part of that, yen a little bit under guy quite a thing. Lula Dor Makuna Dor, yen a geologist by training, but you invent jam financial literacy. So can it about yen part of your introduction? But I'll wait a month, yen could that part but touch why you're not relevant tonight. Baba Ben Mies about financial literacy. Ekene, Imba Yen Furza, welcome to Conman Art Talk Show.
Incha leja rate in Conman, the kitchen and invited Babana Forum Connect. Kutu Yang Bakon leg, Koi for mane Sudanese to air ku jala ko to bang bai Quran bandai ten e ke chol lo twen pi ran ku ran ye pi de ye gwirdi chan bala twen ne bang cha kwen kan geologist anong Bachelor of Science in Geology back in 2007 ja ba ben din am nangan postgraduate in geostatistics in 2013 while I was working as a geologist. Long Londa Kawa geologists, our main aim is to make use of the little resources that we have beginning a value in the society. Kache make anyway. If it doesn't make profit, you don't mind it. And you have to evaluate it, geologists, to make sure that you don't blow the cost. For all those questions, Achian Benaya is hiring up to give me another layer of defense, where I went ahead and enrolled in 2016 to do my master's in finance. And that's where I come in. In that finance, I have done over 16 courses at Griffith University, and I did very well. I did more than I expected. So I cannot ben low and I went green in that field. And at the same time, the money that I actually earn from geology, if they are not invested wisely, then it is nothing. And that is the part Jan Ben now, but by not sharing one away, because you know your own talent, you have your own professions, you earn a decent amount of money. But what defines the directions of you in terms of your personal developments, community development, kujalia when being yola twang ba pidu ba chok jadi longa we le kunke le baga mana jadi when a career yin a go pir go la twang kene yana ka ban ba ku le le an lu yan 13 years kai professional geologist since 2008 when I was a graduate. Before that 2 years ka ngor kai student we want to sign Australia in Canberra. So along in my experience as a geologist, I think I just train people. I don't learn much anymore. So what we do about general financial literacy, which is the interest of this topic.
Yep.
We are contributing to sharing. I have other professionals in the industry. But the reason I'm here is just to style them up so that they give us more knowledge than what I'm going to give them. Or a little bit of warning before can I jam about it is all these informations are personal opinions. So you can't go and apply them without consulting your own financial advisor or financial planner. So I know they are true, but everything in financial practice is tied by the law. So watch your space, listen carefully. If something is not clear, figure it out with your financial planner. And I think we will go ahead properly.
In geologist, adore Mokuna adore, in late for the brief introduction, Chalwell, whereby we quite die, money, quite bala die, which you will Lord, welcome to Conman Talk Show once again. Here a thing from our brother. Here not only a geologist, but an masters of business administration, Chiloy. So
Finance.
Business, okay, master of finance, sorry.
Yep.
Chiloy. We are tied up of yet everything in geological field. Yeah, they are tied with money. So can you be anyway quite a number of years can we in the field. So that experience in ko ko here gonna work tonight. Kwaning question bange jati we quite die for the interest of the be watch yet in I can give a new other kubake thing a slide choba nyot what we are on about ku chananen giberanti kebati the chen ben nyal is loading. Okay, good job. Yeah. So here we quite die. A topping down in Mathay, Yam Watim, a financial literacy. Kwani Arku, a bucket this great dane, a bucket here, in a video dane. A couple of jam tinaki. One of few items, 6 items, ke banga question bagat tijala, kuberan topin, a kunega dietin, kebe dietin, kitwing in bounty, ambiti general financial literacy. Overview de abane geologist tador mo ko yebati yen kiro wanti are ways to gain financial stability crediac a real estate the markets in our community how does that work the towen ku kirin wa na importance of superannuation tiara an bina lui ko nan super de ne dial charbin kirin wa credit a property valuation ning non property do so what can you do about that creditum are ways of financial investment so kage ke aga be wo ga jamtin yipa ning ran kan be nyal aning ran ke ko ti tinale ke be ngi where we are at we be wo jam about wo jalo into individual topic ke kage ke detum so ko wo ja du jam dai in banya dor mo kuna dor once again in late for your time kiteng ban ti community da ko ja lui ko ju ja lui ran bina lui mo majority of ko ja lui ku financial management teder ki ran bina ngi chen yen yung level ko ke an overview about financial general financial literacy what does that exactly mean don ko ko chan ki ran be mai ga we man but can to manage those resources ke yung lebe ko balle ko ba chiron ko
Yeah, in Chaleja, the question Jabe now and financial literacy. And on a different broad understanding because a broad field. But to narrow down to what we are focusing, many community da, which are to be work told lot thing. The simple definition of financial literacy is just understanding of the economics and the household decisions that are affected by economic conditions and circumstances. So, for example, nakor bakadang oja kole abalokula ni artu. Will you think of buying it or will you think of saving it first? Yeah, that is a simple way of putting it across. If you walk to the bank, is one of example. You have a bank account, a couple of what is that a bank account for? Walk away an account one, I go okay, my. But I know I you get in one. A tongue walk, chiang day, what jing. I know I me in my appeal. Okay, I quit quiet now. Hope you can it doesn't matter how much they try. Okay, either because or bigger mismanaged. But after in the same area, the opportunity is there for everyone. So actually, only be jamle and abur because it just the rule of thumb there is what is called resources management, which is replaced by financial literacy. If I go to the bank today, I will go and say, okay, what type of account Carbalio? Account can have accounting that way. I charge it every month. If it charge me, I quit it. I don't need it. Because that little dollar that leave every month at the age of 99 is a lot of money. At one point, if you see Ben, can you ben something like credit cards or debit cards? Debit card I will kuna when you use you know can do in an will kun you loy. Ye employer do any dom could tell legatin. Could you bang the debit card that you will use? But I don't get you tied to it also to all credit card. I will been either through advertisement or I will been something that is a free money, which is a catch. I think it's free. There's no free lunch according to economics. So in being credit card, being kakum emergency bakala solve yen. But guess what? It comes with about 20% interest. So na chatiro chaden before kin clear by the end of the year, which are 20% of that, about 4,000. So you will have like 24,000 at the end of the year to pay to the bank. That 4,000 is a loss. So for you to understand, akorba konping apiat kumugina mapiat that dunglo for credit card unless nang live low safe. Nachin live low safe, don't go for it. Kennedy, a planning and managing of finances is sellers. Yenike big time again. Whether I have a couple pound one, well, you need to can make sure that when you're done, whether through wages, well, whichever way inventing, kakorba take it. In terms of percentage, it's a term of amount. Because nalalo in terms of amount, can you pull work up? Akorbalo in terms of percentage, where you can say, yeah, what percent will be used for family utilities? Yeah, what family utilities? I think like food, gas, electricity, water, internet. I think that you consume completely, they're gone. You pay the bill and that's it. They're gone forever. Now you need a controller. Bucket plan that percentage of your income so that you meet the target of what you want. The first point, Banjam, about financial literacy will be covered by the risks and rewards from financial institutions. Why do I say that? Now, you will realize that the bank track for probably 3%, 2% interest rate. And down the line, about 4 to 5 years, they will start shooting up the interest rate. What happened? Because you were being rewarded to come to that bank. But they know human beings don't move so quickly. They just hold you on there. And then they increase it, the interest rate randomly. But you think that other banks are also increasing. But no, it's not. Compare the market. Not bank, see your interest. If you see you are paying too much, come back to this bank and say, hey, look, I got a deal with this NAP bank. I got a deal with you bank. If you can be jail. Yes, no one want to leave. Let the customer go. Of course, you belong a room negotiate and they will give you something that has a value. And when you negotiate from, if you have now you pay 2,000 a month, plus 1,500 I pay teaching after she negotiate, you are winner. Or you and bank, you are both winning because bank still getting his interest anyway. The term probably will be consumer rights and responsibilities in financial contracts. Can allow them koi bay or koi when non loophole when they are signing up the contracts. And this is where the bank sometime could lawyers the second pair of glasses and they read between the lines and see what can go wrong, what can possibly go wrong. For example, if the contract say that if you don't pay your repayment in 3 months, then you will go on default. That is a risk. What it means there is, na cha chen will cha fail ba will ba ga chat pin will ga win interest for the bank. Kanong ki actual default. That means all the time you have been paying undu, which is that default time which ben ka ben ajadot, and they will never give you will ka chaga pay. So you need to also negotiate with the bank that and could be in some condition. If I don't have the job, I need some time to be given to me when you are signing contract too. Or if it doesn't work, there is what is called 6 months security. What is called buffer in your saving, in your mortgage account. If you earn $5,000 a month, times 6, that is $30,000. So that $30,000 will always sit in your mortgage account as your buffer, so that it eliminates the risk of mortgage repossessions. And by doing that, because you know that 6 months buffer, and that 6 months will help you build on by you. You continue moving on. So you have two there, either to negotiate with the bank, or you make sure you save decent amount of your salary, 6 times of your salary, as your buffer. I hope that is the first step. I just want to bore you also with a few points. Uncle Bala for another one before I exhausted the financial literacy, or unless no run on question, but I have some few points from someone called Barefoot Investor. Some of you might heard him.
Go ahead.
Yes. So before I finish with this financial literacy, and a few points I gathered from Barefooted Investor for Families. It was written by Scott Pape. The warning is about how we spend actually the money itself and how we can control the bills. Lewu wrote Konyidi. The first rule of thumb is open a zero fee account. Because if you don't need it, you don't need the fee anyway. If there are other accounts that have a zero fee on them, you open that. And then there is another account linked to it. And that account linked to it, that is called the high interest saving account. Do you know what it does? Your income comes to your zero account, your daily transactions happen there, but you can just pay after 3 months, 4 months, you put them into a high interest saving account, which is linked to it. Because I manage now, but you need them later. But the bank will give you 2 conditions. Excuse me. They will give you 2 conditions. You can have 2 draws a month without charges. So that is when you sneak in. Long-term planning pay off. But your daily activity one, which is zero fee account, will be used on daily basis. Question problem. Another thing, which is a life-saving strategy. TV. It's a second point. I want to go to the market. I want to buy a TV. TV gonna car up here, but it cost me about $1,500. Do I really need to have money straight away and buy that TV of $1,500? No, absolutely not. What do I need to do? I buy time. Time is value of money. When you're driving around, go to any shop around you. Just look at it. Compare those prices. See, 2 or 3 months later, you see the price is going down. Oh, because the new model just came in, the new model might cost maybe $2,000. They dropped the old model ones. I went car to $1,200. What have you done? You save $300 from $1,500 to $1,200. You go and buy it because you don't understand the technology. What do you need? You need the TV that work properly.
Yen Banyador.
Yes.
And a couple of questions, Ben.
Yeah.
Pinyin Apiat Bagat Yen part of financial literacy.
Yes, correct.
Some few members Kitty.
Yeah.
Yen question took Nangram Kitty. A little yen about a little couple elaborate the difference between fixed and variable interest rate on mortgage. So question to
Oh,
the difference between fixed and interest rate on
yeah.
mortgage.
Yes. It's still that topic will come later on under housings, which is next part of these sessions. But
So
we
fair.
yes, I want to probably put it aside and say from the fixed, because real estate market in our community, that is where we will come with fixed and variables. And I will answer that in part 3.
Okay. Another question gave part of financial literacy. And around the problem with spending.
Yes.
How can I bring my expenses down?
Very good. Correct. That's what I just touched down. I will answer that one straight away. Yeah, because this is what is called household, and that question is part of the household, which is financial literacy and households. Yeah. So when you have expenses, for example, in Mr. X question 3, your income is 5,000 a month. The basic need for you to survive is food, water, electricity, all the consumable that you have. And those consumable, are taking care of them first, because you can't survive without them. But you can minimize also some of them. For example, you don't need to be eating too much. If you go to work, you don't need to have takeaway. Takeaway is killing you. First thing is not healthy, and the next thing is also expensive. So if you do your bread, put a bit of sandwich in, put your healthy stuff in, you will be all right with it. And that will cost you probably like $5 or $10. Then when you go and do takeaway, it will cost you $15, $20. And you do that every day, the problem times is compounding. It's not what we do in a day is a problem. It is the continuous effect of compounding. For example, if you change from $10 to $15 to $20 on each day, and you compound that every day in each year for the rest of your life, that is what is killing you. It's not what you spend on one day. If I come down again to your question that you have problem with saving, say that save 20 is one of my questions down here in number 9 in my points of saving. You have to save between 15 to 25% of your post income. Lock that one away. Assume that you never earned that one. Lock that one away and rest with, and do now work with the 80% of your income. If you don't, 80% of your income, if it doesn't fix your problems, look for a second job. If you get second job, then you will have another 20% of saving, and then another 80% will be also your budget to plan. So all the time, all your income, proportionate. Split it in percentage. Don't split it in dollars because you will run out of money. Split it in percentage. Say that 10%
Percentages,
aban
yeah.
ko here why can to Africa kujalara on gdenuan put it aside. 20% put it aside for your what? For your saving. 50% is your personal utilities. And then the other percent will be other things that you want to achieve in your life, such as wedding, houses, deposit, kujalia ko kun korke, ka wenti manerian dun dream car. So I think I answered him, and we are continue going along the list of barefoot investor because I like few things.
Yep.
Another thing here, we always go for first thing. I know and we want to go and buy the best clothes. But if I go to Salvation Army today, the suit that I'm wearing here, I will think I will find it hanging somewhere. If not luck, you have to buy, because that can be 120. Will a Salvation Army and buy it for $40. Go to dry clean and clean it very well, and work with someone with $200 suits. I will be the same, man. There is no difference will be there. So sometimes there are few things in a throwaway price that you underestimate that can save you a lot of money. So Kage, you need to sneak around, because once you will be like the person wearing 500 clothes. In every community, we think that I chatting in our community. Now I'm coming back to our community. In every community event that we do here in Western world, or even in Africa, I've seen in Nairobi and Kampala, every person that want to go for that party, when I got a car behind looking good. No, it doesn't mean that you're gonna buy a 1,000 clothes dollar, or say in Kenya it will be like, say 10,000 Kenyan shilling, which is equivalent to 200 here. No, that is killing you down the line. Because those clothes, unless I'll crew with time, and you can put your kid to best school. And when your kid come out of best school, you're gonna have a president of the future. But your clothes will be worn one night, and that's it. You will have no memories with it, apart from the photo that will run out in few months. Okay, Kennedy actually cooks and minimize eating away. Pack your own lunch to workplace. If you don't cook, tell madam, please pack my lunch. I don't want to eat at work, because next time I want to save $10 every day I go to work. And if those ideas come even including children, that is good. Don't give kids money to go and eat them in school. They will learn how to eat outside, and they will have financial struggle in future. They will go to canteen, yes, that's good for now. But if they continue doing that in their life, they will spend all their life spending money on the canteen. And when they grow up, they will use it as a takeaway. Nothing will change that. The direction will be straightforward. Another thing is a concept. Okay.
Yen one more question one.
Yes.
Wanting another 5 more. So
yes,
maybe we get summarize.
Okay.
Can
All right.
more important?
I will just read them.
Okay.
Okay. Rationalize the utilities of family. For example, if you want to use water, do you open it like pull plus? No, we call pull plus, where the water just drains. Do you need that amount to wash dishes? No. Gas. Do you want to stand there in the heater because the gas is what is used to heat the water system? Do you want to spend 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes under the running water? Absolutely no. Unless it be korba kala dugir, but I'm very sure 3 to 5 minutes of your time under running water is enough to clean you. All right. Never get credit card, please. Encourage kids of age 15. 10, 15. Please encourage them to start working, because when they start working, they will know the importance of money and they will start saving. The reason why we are poor is because we start working at the age of 30 when we came to Australia. If we start working at the age of 15, we could at least be somebody. We could pay almost half of our mortgage off now. So don't be late. Your kids are Kawajat or Koito Agir. They can start working at the age of 15, and by the time they turn 18, they have their first car. So they will have know that problem. So encourage them to start working at the age of 15. Invest in high growth super. You have the internet in your hand. Check it out. We supers have a high rate, high turnaround. Couple of them are there.
Yeah.
About the top 5. Sun Super is one of them. Yeah.
The question bugula yola.
Yes.
Down the track, Super. Can get elaborate a little bit more.
Yep. Set up your first home loan deposit of 20% purchase price. Avoid pay TV. That's done. Way to gain financial stability is the next topic.
Yep.
And a question before we move to the second one.
I can what you talk about financial literacy. Could you want to ways to gain financial stability?
Yep.
To be financially stable. It's easy. Don't call it migrants. Call it boga child. Kitchen kito, I can't run with there with your peer bengal. Kim and chew way gol. What in peer, what you come. What are the ways the binge by me is the way to get financial stability in this Western culture towards man can watch you my work or my work. Come with the key cut. So I any idea bagala cut. A being a bijal de. Question getting about answer the ways of gaining financial stability.
The failure to plan is the failure to fail. What it means is if you don't budget, you already failed the test. What do you budget dado? Budget. If you work, you got a budget. If someone pay you, you have to budget. What does budget mean? You assume that you're earning $500 a week. It's so little. That's why I'm choosing that amount. First thing is, what will go on rent? Because we are homeless. What will go on food? Because you will not sleep hungry. The third thing, which are naked on the road, you got to close yourself. My first budget will be on those 3. The rest, probably they are needs. They're just basic. You can still be comfortable, but these are main basic needs you need to address, and you need to budget for them. So that means you assign, if 50% of your income goes, like 250, now lay on your budget of this basic need, I will agree with you. But the next 50%, the 25% will be any other thing that you want to do in your life. That means you need to plan for your house. You need to plan for your, which is saving. Saving goes to your deposit. The other thing that you need, maybe a car, but car is not actually something that you actually need. Sometimes it's surprising. Because if the place of work, Luin, at the damn kite the train or bus, you can go there. I think I did that in Sydney when I was working somewhere in 2004, 2005. We got at 4 o'clock in the morning to start at 7 o'clock in Mariang. I was using the train and bus. I didn't need a car. I guarantee you can do that too. Set money spending limit. If you say that 500 Kibaya spend on food is 125. Or say, no, let me get a blank rule. Let me get exactly what is my meal as a single person living by myself. You are cooking for yourself at home, your budget will be $5 to $10 a day. So likely you will have $70. Let me assume an average of that is $8. 8 times 7 is $56. 56 is my budget for a week. Is that doable? Of course. It's doable. So that budget is cut down and you have saved a lot. Cut down all the debts. For you to be financially stable, cut down all the debts. The fair thing is credit card, my enemy. I don't have credit cards since I came to Australia. I never. The reason for that is because it's a hack of recovery. If you have about 3 types of loan, for example, I have about maybe 2 types of loan. One is investment house and the other one is place of residence. Make sure you see where to make money and save money. Avoid putting another debt on top of the debt you have. For example, I want to go and get some money and say, all right, if I have this money, I'll live in Uncle lawyer, could back with another interest. It's another cash. You will not get that amount because your money is fixed and it will not change unless you get the second job. If you work hard at workplace and you get something like bonuses or key and pay rise, that money is a gains of what you have budgeted already. I will have a choice to say, save that money and save those pay rise because they will help you down the line. The third one, which will help you also, is Nalo Library. Or a bill be overdue and you are given that late penalties. What do? Set auto pay straight away. With the library, set a reminder that you cannot be fined. Set a reminder that my books are due today and I don't want to be. If you drive a car, a lot of my friends are down there. They are victims of the police with speeding, drinking, fines, and all those stuff. They cost you a lot, my dear. Our cars are now advancing. They have what is called set the speed limit. You reach a 60 zone, put in 60, drive. It come to 70, drive, reach 70, set to 70. Police will never give you a speeding fine. Is that right? It's making sense. I use it. I've been driving in Australia for 12 years, no speeding fine. I'm not calling for it, but I'm just giving you an example. Why? Because I use those technologies. Make use of them, they will save you a lot of money. Of course, drink driving is dreadful crimes. You drink, don't drive, take taxi. I will say it's better you spend money on taxi rather than lose your license. Third one on this financial stability, all these one are saving. This is where all our money just go and we realize we are poor because financial stability is accumulations of little money that you accrue with every activity, every financial decision you make. That's what makes money. It's not what you earn. If you earn millions of dollars and you spend them 1.2 million, you're making losses and you are remaining poor. If you earn $500 and you are saving, you're spending only $300, you are saving $200. $200 a week, time is 52 weeks, time is your lifespan. You are rich. So it is not the money you make that make you rich. It is how you spend the money you make. Chapin.
I think people are they liking. I just topic that you are quite of being
All
and
right.
yeah, na
Well
kia
done.
more interactive.
Yes.
Yeah, na I think it can what you deal with what deal jale financial stability, the ways to gain
Okay.
financial stability. And then we can
Mm.
do bala cover and
Yeah.
yeah, no man
Skip
we
ATM.
want thing.
Kikabalwelkin skip ATM fees. Could you add discount? Look at the discount too.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right. Let's go. Let's go to real estate market in our community.
Yeah. So yeah, real estate, yeah, no question kina. Ani vanity rate.
Yes.
Yeah, no man certain communities. Real estate
Yeah.
market in
Mm.
Australia,
All right.
dominated.
Yeah.
Ku yen a chal, ku maybe ko chal, writing
Yeah.
our community, South Sudanese in general, I
Mm.
think I can much participation to think there.
Yeah.
So we ka bani tin yen yung problem che wala into the real estate market ko way South Sudanese. One thing. Number two, you book into real estate market. What should people do to get into that market? Can you a very good market the way I see it from other communities in a very lucrative market. But here we work what you talk for almost 2 decades. Can I quite one you don't chin quite one kilo into that area. Young problem from your experience, you think you wall into that real estate market. And you are looking or you are looking what should people do? Can be jalo. What are the requirements?
Yes. Beat the bank. Don't let the bank sue me. Beat the bank. What I mean by beat the bank is what I mean by beating the bank is because the bank manipulate the populations of the communities. If Nakarba by Och, the bank a little well, oh, you have good income. And I declare my income, and then they give me 500,000. I buy or build a nice house. I live in it. That house completely, as soon as I make a decision to buy and go to the bank, I am logged into the poverty line unless something happens in the market. The reason I'm saying that is I'm paying the interest of nearly 50% of the value of that house down the line. If the house doesn't move its value, then I'm going to remain stagnant in the negative gearing, and there will be no positive cash flow, either in capital gains or in passive income. So what do we need to do as Sudanese community? One, we are a community that came from a communal level where we come together, support one person, and let that person succeed. If we do that, we can beat the bank too. I just realized that we can beat the bank by doing that. Naja root trustworthy here on Biwek Australia, what chairman among families now because it will be hard to handle. On Biwek or on Pure Ben or Pure Law here, where the America Law here between 2000 and they are around 20 years and 21 years over there. Australia, mostly people came around 2003 up to now. If they have the communal idea, Jim, we can mat kuyang to the yoga ruon. Quiet here, 500 already, 500,000. And if you have 500,000, kawach when you mat, and you go and borrow now the money from the bank, because if bank system, government said that you can't buy a house unless you go to the bank. So jakla to the bank, kule wa korbu ho buy, kuwa on deposit. Don't tell the whole money. They're gonna reject you because they're not gonna make money out of you. Give them the 20% they want or the 5% they want. Deposit ekene. Kuuntu you a 500,000. But you have at your backyard, 500,000. So as soon as you are approved, there is term and condition that say at this interest rate, maybe after 2 years, you will go on variable. And this is where I am coming now for the question that was asked before. Question of variable, it tells you that the Reserve Bank is on a rate, and that rate pass on to the commercial banks, all the 24 banks that you know in Australia, including 4 big banks. Those banks are all the expenses. Employees can profit then factored into that. The rate and jegla determined. And that's why all the commercial banks have 3%, 4%, and up to 6%. And up to the number, depending to when the economy gets strong, or unemployment or employment, economy values, all the other factors. Can I be okay? Nice interest on the other one and kill one get it. My job will bank that jogo will want jogo deposit. No one will find you because you are using the loophole. So once you will pay from 2% once you approve, first homeowners, after 2 years, you decide to say, okay, we want to refinance. You put the money in, you clear out all the interest. Next month, zero. You don't pay interest. You do again for the second year with another person. Go and get another one. Put it in the market. If I'm 5 bedroom, everything with here, essential being. Everything with here, tap in the market. From there, Alu get generate through rent. And at the same time, what happened? There is what is called capital gain that is happening. If you guys were in Sydney or in Melbourne, when 2005, 2004, should be now what? By then 400,000, 500,000. Now it should be around 1.5 million. We are talking. That is the real financial literacy. When you find yourself, you make something, that's when you start thinking now, this was a wise decision. But if it turns the other way around, don't regret. This is a gamble or it's a calculated business. Families, you work hard, get 2 jobs, make sure that you pay down, follow the same rule of financial literacy. Save as much as you can. Put a lot of money in your mortgage to offset the interest. The next thing, refinance. Every 3 years, there is a culture in the bank system that interest rate elonial, kunachilonial, can that mean you are paying more? So you have a room to negotiate. Go and consult this small bank. Right now, I want to give you the secrets. If you are listening there, I'm giving you a secret, and that secret will help you tomorrow. Go tomorrow to the bank and ask, U-Bank. Does anyone hear something called U-Bank? Home Star?
I believe it.
Lendy. All those small banks are offering 1.79%. I just finished my financial refinance in October. I'm paying now 1.79%. I got away from big bank. Why? Because I was paying 4%. If I pay 4% and I got 1.79, how much have I saved in a month? That's a lot. That's half of the money that I was paying to the bank. And if our Sudanese community can do that, why should they not do? That's one of the best topics I'm talking today. Is about make use of the market. The highest top market at the moment now is These big banks are still up there. They still, even if these small banks are saying there is 1%, 2%, 1.99%, the big banks are still saying 4.75%, and you're still going for it. No way. And that's why the big banks need to be cut down by these small banks, and we need to support the small banks by going to small banks. I know there is a financial problem where they say big
yen
banks are hard to pay.
yen
I have failed I
eh,
default.
yen
But
banyador on that
yes,
note,
yes,
yen aning misconception to with
yes.
our community.
Mm.
Kwaja jam le yen le got law with the small banks, the chances of ripping off, wiki rip off are high. So a lot of people are going through big banks, the big four. So
Eh,
it's very important you can cover emphasize the yet
very good.
that illusion.
Yes.
But yeah, quite neat
Yeah.
based on the facts when check lay out.
Yeah. If you go and click on each rate for each bank, they always have different terms and conditions, regardless of which bank it is. All of them, they actually go for the LVR, which is the loan mortgage ratio. So if your loan mortgage ratio is less than 80%, you are eligible to get those 1.79, 1.99. If yours is big, you're going for 95%, of course, you are on high risk. You will be given high interest rate. So what do? There is what is called you have to do what is called LMI, which is you have to insure the loan mortgage insurance. You have to do what is called loan mortgage insurance, which is about 20,000. When you go to the bank and say, look, the value of my house is lower compared to what I want. But they will say, because banks are smart, they never fail. They always insure themselves in case you have the shortfall to check by. Okay, then they will always make sure that that LMI cover the shortfall, regardless of the difference. And then the LMI come after you and say, pay our 20,000. If you have done that, that's fine. The notions of our community is that Nakorba by oil from small bank. You just look at the terms. Sugar highlighted. If you find yourself you are at risk, then probably don't go for it. But those risks are same again in the big bank because they are also the same stuff. The big bank will never trade with you if they know that you never pay your interest rate before. If you take loan from people and you run away with them, they will never give you the loan. It doesn't matter whether you take it from people or you take it from the bank. It go to credit score, credit ratings. Once your credit rating is low, it doesn't matter whether it is big bank or small bank, they will not give you the loan. So you have to protect your credit ratings. And that comes to everyone, regardless of Sudanese community or any other community in Australia. It will come to everyone, and Quran Banabea going for that. The big thing, catching Sudanese, the long investment was the miss of return. Back in 2009, I don't want to mention name of people, but I was accused that Nanchi Bella South Sudan, and I have decided to stay in Australia permanently. And Kwen and Yigbai, why in Yigbai, Bella Sudan? Of course, I am still with you now. How are you? We are still in Australia. So that means the means of return, get it out of your head. Don't do anything because you want to go to South Sudan or Kenya or Africa. Do anything because he want to benefit you. First thing, do invest because you will see the potential benefits in 10 years. Your property, Alabia, now what 400,000, it will be 750,000. That difference of value will be something that will go toward your retirement or something that will help you in life. Don't study, don't go to school and say, Sudan. No, if it doesn't help people in Australia here, it will never help anyone in South Sudan. Because the people you serve in South Sudan are the same as people you serve in Australia. It makes no difference. Never tell me that you are studying law because you want to be you want to be a lawyer in South Sudan. No, you damn practices here. You're going to save human here. And then you go and save South Sudanese.
Great point.
If you want to be a doctor, medical doctor, you have to treat people here, and then you go and treat people in South Sudan. You want to be a geologist, you make sure that you mine the gold here, you find where it is, you model it and make it profitable. If you can do that here, you go and do it where you want to go to. And don't just finish with all the hearts in your head and papers and run to South Sudan because you have no skills, you will apply nothing, and you will never push it because people will say, what do you know? It's theoretical physics.
Yeah, a very interesting topic tonight, and people are enjoying the talk.
I have finished with the real estate, unless some questions are coming.
Yeah, na chin question to go bend woblo twing. Kibe wala tinu mane. Angiku majority ko ja lui. 16 and above. Ko ja lui kurana ben superannuation de.
Yeah.
That superannuation. And then kitin your employer. You contribute to your account. Yen important in that explanation. I call by here on quite tonight. Yen kuyungini tiaya you personal contribution on top of your employer. Can at least 9%, 10%, depending the industry and the company. So you buy Louis here tonight. Can quite the importance of superannuation. You need tier. Don't you need key Louis?
Basically, that topic actually, I did one of my paper with Griffith University. So I just went and grabbed all those information and just copy it here. But they will help you. First thing is, there was nothing called superannuation in the beginning in Australian industry. And probably even in America, they are still absorbing that heat. The main reason is you got to save your money and then you retire on what you have saved. But the government realized that, oh, this is increasing a burden to the economy of the country. And it policed this policy to all the registered employers within the country. So as you can see, it's the kind of going up and up every year, like every few years, they increase so that it catch up with the inflation. But let me assure this. Especially when it burden for the father, the mother, and everyone. Unfortunately, we don't have notion here. Unfortunately, that is a miss. Educate your kid, they turn 18, they go and marry, that's it. They will come and see whether there is little to do from your super actually to come and get it, not them coming to take care of you.
No, yeah.
Yes. So if you still have that mentality that Mission get here will take with it from 3 wives, and coin, forget it. Start planning now because your super will be your child that will take care when you get old. Assume the following. Pay off your mortgage as much as you can now because you cannot afford to pay the rent to lay in the up. Because that mortgage towing your first principle of residence, the next thing is if because if you build it now after 20 or 30 years, so you're saving only 25% or 20%, you will use it to renovate it and you will still live in that house. Chala chorugundu mi adi chindi abajirani bene ku korobela lengwenu jaja merdona ntowe gitok kubabela tai. You will have a little bit from your retirement account bin ko ala name. And guess what? Chala apirga don't need to encourage. You got to have medical allowances. And that's the reason why we have superannuation. The superannuation will help you pay your renovation that you want to your travel fees when you want to tour around the world, and your medical allowances when you get old. That 9% is little, it's just a peanut. The 9% from the government, if you do the math now, is nothing. I will come up with the numbers that you want. How much do you want to retire actually? So that you calculate exactly what is the government contributing, or what is your employer contributing to your super for you to be tempted or for you to appeal to apply or to sacrifice more. The way super funds, they will care for you. So what you will do is you need to do what is called compounding interest. And compounding interest, what it means is if you put in, even if you might say $500 a month toward your super, that compounding will help you bilamat kene 10%. I share 10% is here. Some companies are giving 12%. So that money will be compounding, could be managed by financial brokers in the super fund, and that will help you to retire. So how much is actually needed to be contributed? You can contribute as much as possible to $27,000. $27,000 a year, you can still pay 15% of a dollar, which is 15 cents in a dollar, will be taxed. So that means now your income is above 120,000, and you salary sacrifice anything above 120. That means you can be taxed 42 cents in a dollar. But if you put that money into super, you are actually going to be taxed 15 cents. So what are you doing? You're saving a lot of money into your super instead of letting it waste to be taxed by the government. So that means you are actually helping yourself out.
Yeah, on top of those key elements, in
Yes. Yeah.
yen war chien COVID chien ben war gole road.
Yeah.
Yen achineng super heli release achira loy. Itong eligible members. Ikene anen kaba teaching.
Yeah.
You only during the crisis, you need people who can access to the release of super.
Couldn't find the energy.
Teacher Aloy,
Yeah.
during crisis, what happened is, I wouldn't like to criticize the government, but if I was financial advisor for the government, I would say we should have get another budget to help people rather than sending them and have super. Yes. George's birthday. Can you excuse me for 1 minute, please?
Yeah. We quite die. In a very good session. Quite this will not be the only. It can be a end of it. And we have a lot to learn from Ador Makuna Ador.
Yeah, I'm back. My son is interrupted.
And that's all right.
Yes.
It's okay on.
So if I were government advisor, I would say releasing money to individuals, which is their retirement income, was a bit of not a good decision. I could say that, because we need to contribute more. We need to encourage citizens to contribute more into their super rather than actually drawing money out of their super, because people are struggling to contribute to their super, because at the end of the day, there is what is called pension. Pension is seriously, if you visit any oldies or any elderlies, they are struggling, especially during their lifetime, or now on pension. It's very hard for them to have a good meal. They got to go for things like noodles that are not nutritious. And those are the first one they begin sick quickly because they can't afford healthy food. And if we can start taking away their life savings because of simple thing like COVID, the government has to have a plan to see how to bail people out of this problem and give money to people. Okay, something as a different package, not to encourage people to go and draw the money, because many people got that advantage, even quite they actually eligible to go and get that money, just make that advantage and go and get the money out. No, that money is for your retirement. It's not for your own personal use. Yeah. All right, let me finish with with what do you want actually? What do you want to retire comfortably? How much do you want? At the moment, as of today, 2021, last year, you are expected to retire at the age of 65. That means the average lifespan will be around 85. So that means you will have 20 years of your life sitting idly waiting for death, of course. But
retirement,
that is called retirement, of course. Now, that 20 years, how much do you need to survive for that 20 years before timeline of 85 years? If you are kicked out already, you are single at the age of 65 to 85, you need 44,818. That information is from the Money Smart website. That is around 859 a week. All right. But
does that include all your rents, all your
that cover
stuff?
Yes, that 44,000, it will differentiate now. Tongmatan, you will go meet from Superpan. Kujalara and Kins Supernation, the Mioji. There are two live now. What you the other talk about what belong different lifestyle. Ramble the comfortably. Abonang $44,818 a year. That means your lifespan, your food, your holiday, your medicals, you are living exactly the life you are now. There is what is called modest life. But you can still live. That is $28,514 a year. So you can see a big difference. So in a week, that is $546. So $546 is not enough. And that value, actually ultimate. Now you couple. In a week, work out 1,200 for you to be comfortable. That means you can have at least a meal, a dinner outside once a week. You can go for a holiday 3 times a year. And you can have the luxurious life you want. Not that much luxurious, but at least you can afford 20 years with your partner or your wife. So that means you need 63,000 a year. The modest one, the modest lifestyle, which is general living, what I mean is an average Australian standard of living. That will be $700 a week. So if you can see that, it will come down that for you to retire and support a comfortable lifestyle, you need 640,000 in your superannuation, 640,000 for a couple, and 545,000 for a single. This assumes a partial pension age, because by that time, you will still get a little percentage, because how it is calculated is how much you have in your super, how much does the government have, and then they will give you a certain percentage of the portion. The more you are super rich, of course, they will reduce for humanity. Give the poor a little bit so that they can survive.
Yeah. Sharing is caring. Yeah, good.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. That brings us to the superannuations, and the next one will be property evaluation, unless there is a question.
Yeah, so what will we move on? Yeah, another question I covered in a long superannuation.
Yes.
In terms of unforeseen circumstances, let's say Rana Togi into Pandu or into Pandun, but in Lui, giving family members to. If I are terminally ill, terminally ill, could engage you what Okay, how do the members of the family benefit from your super?
Good question. I wish I covered it because I was going straight to what you put in the money, but I never talk about something you can claim from the super. We have two layers of defense in super nations. The first one is what is called total disability and permanent death. It depends on how much you earn. It will varies from one person to another. But basically, if you earn a lot of money, the more money you are insured for, because your value is higher. People are valued also based on what they earn. It's different here. We can live together same life according to humanity, but we can be valued according to what we earn too. So now, Chabe, basically the middle class are around 1.2 million, where 600 is permanent disability, and the other 600,000 is death. So now, Chabe, always there is a grantor where you have to complete the estate, which is a will. That will, you have to clarify exactly the names of the people and their ages, which is including date of birth, and the percentage of the money you want to allocate to each person. If the person is missing there, we talked about when it's into because unfortunately, no one will take care of her. Unless you go to the second layer of defense and hire a lawyer and prove to the lawyer that she has been taking care of you while you were alive, and that means she deserves a share. Then they will do what is called a review and all the other stuff of law stuff and other protections, which will cost a lot of money also from that. Will be a pass over. They need to get their share, okay, lawyers. So the less you involve the lawyers, the more beneficiaries will be given to your beneficiaries, Chakawan. There is what is called estate rule, though. Estate rule is when you die without leaving a will. What it means is that when you die without a will, 50% will be allocated to people that were living with you or close family members, and 50% will go straight to the government and will be given to charity.
Wow.
So it is a mistake. By any means, you try, because I change about 2 to 3 years. You can even do it online. Call your super, tell them I want so and so and so with this percentage. It's not necessary. As I said before, use always percentage to allocate resources. It's a good way of reducing complaint. Because if you use amount, people will see the figure and say, but if you say 25% each, that's it. If you say, okay, this is 15%, the other person will be 25%, and the other person will be 10%, that's all right. Yes, it's your money, so you have the right to allocate to people. And I think that is fully answered.
In Banyador, a very good discussion tonight, and I hope our community members being alone from this topic. Kibe wala thinumane property valuation. Kine ako bin coach back especially coin and wood in particular. How can they benefit from property valuations? And when is the right time to do it, and when is it not the right time to do it, and what is it driven by? Can anybody here on the coach tonight? Property valuation. What is the importance of it?
Yes, thanks for that question again. Property evaluation is kind of gray line. The reason it is used, just say the physical appearance or the way they think. But in real sense, no. They got internal details of difference. So for example, if I have a house here Panang down the line, two street along the line. Anang road chicken or anang 422. What it mean? It is 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2 toilets, or something like what is it? 2 garage, something like that. And exactly someone down the line there, anang 4222. Kurana chicken 450,000. There is another one 1 kilometer away from here. A chicken 480,000. So they use what is called grid variance analysis. And they say, okay, if those two houses cost that much, and it is exactly the same as this, then let's use the 450 plus 480.
Yen Bayandor, a audience, I really yen warning elderly people the bigger thing. Let use our let try to use more dinka.
Okay,
A
yes.
request from the viewers.
Yeah. Yeah, chiman na chi wundu ku chi ben ku tem ku ga je wundu ku wundu to kedang ki chi block di ha ke char ku ga je ki ga wan ku ti ali ku dange ki ke wan ku terber ku bo ku tingondu pa den ga le wona ku wontu average den a level of ben 465 ki chi yilia. And they will realize a big thing, okay, one can that A465. Then evaluate a bibin ku gam ku lelo one can keep them one with the tem ku di alip. So yanake value on duka. Log trigger report on bank ku lelo de ayila. Natural when they keep the 500,000 come on to a fall. But Nachi when we chalweli 400 and it's in a value. Kulela la keep them one with the tem ku di. Kenchila non actual equity. For equity, a good thing in the market. Yes, that's what you get to work by out it. Don't use your card. Don't work with Dungalu user. A kid and actual equity, Yenike wood or could I go out in places Sinman one, Melbourne, which are Sydney, are good places because the Tangwan twin who are on the Alapet and ko equity. A labor use, ko in word cogman. Kijatoya done bang evaluation. Prices go wood I watch. So place a chain factor. Can a factor ena chagut ku chatting luôn cái nào là bị oi kis karo thousand quale ba juari kis one a week go on itself okay because you can make a yield of good percent. Yes, but na la pani de oi because chatting ga piet quala riau pa piet yin la oi 800,000 ku jaban ku janyitin ku jachim haiwa ka chi ja go piet because you will be paying ke ba ya chat pin pay abadil to li pe wan ten kukene na kwet bum reach that or for that you will realize the direction all in thing because can we jari jam du a loss ko when can we taw jam du e kwet so hun chang ta den akor bia un la yang gat chan
Affordable.
we actually
Affordable
back yes we actually back claim actually because actually tax efficiency
Yeah.
so and the deal
Yen war
to get investment house
yen
basically akor
yen
bag ya would will be rented up here.
yeah. Yen nan question jiti fi ni before kenen nang ran jiti fi ni ko jel le life insurance ko ja income protections insurance alwe ye useful at the moment or not
Peer run actually determined. Peer run. Yet God rest in peace on social media. It's because we don't actually know. Now you me, kada you determine. But another jam you gam to you to our team. The Bible is or long knowledge. That means life itself actually defined. I useful when it happen, but it's not useful when it does not happen.
Okay. So yeah. So live a gamble. So what will we move on?
Yes,
The
correct.
final question. The final questions in the walleting. Very important. Piet benang insights. Bayin koi ping koi bala ping. Financial investments. Yen will be a broad topic in financial investment. But from your experience, chingato in the market, kijilui, ku the skills in jachie can go tonight. If we talk about financial investment, where do people start?
Save, 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 save. Invest, invest, invest. That means now you can manage to save money, then you can invest. If you cannot save money, you can invest. Now it comes down, how do we create our portfolio? Chan bajo we invest. Anarani jamle dungu tong kudunga tao basket toket. Yenike rule of thumb business. Chan banong will or banong mal tokai. Kakor ba will ku baga tao the kajuit court kache toket. Ketwing na lori market it wood etok, which is real estate. You can invest in land. Bapin bagagoji Juba will bagagoji to read will bagagoji Mangala will watch anywhere. Anything chagoy a investment. But a bijol on yalnen in a quick. But a investment again. Na shi gwalwela ko ko ja joru ko ja latene. Kule ent dunwa jingo pin yen chi gwalagao. Kayin jikwet. Na shi ra lai sheng ka jidong keryang. Ko ajlo. In the current market, which is actually PIDA, stock market, actual shares or equity. Here, Loitin, you invest. Kubangi, ikishina invest whether you Woolworth, will you Coles, will you Telstra. Ka prices can ablo nyal. Kuna chiglo nyal, ku aje tier, ku chia tier gudi, ku aje, kayin nam 50% profit. If you make that target, by always anchor 50% for every investment I do. Could you wait? And in 10 over make. But if you see the market is going up and down and you don't get that gain, you will lose because you will panic. Market is driven by fear. With the more you pull out the money from the market, get good thing for other investors because the value so buy cheap, sell when it's high. Ano kaya ka bonds. Bonds are kaya akuma karaj. I that yen work ali be kole ko bugu yeni 5% run ke dia after 3 years ke bond una li ku jawo chakaloy for 3 years at 5% abakajola abakajo jot. So you can choose bakuma beina pay interest every year when you wait until you get your final bond. The bond ANS certificate chawoj itonga kuma or it around even a CNS be a kuma alebia council alebia even the bank itself anong kai ga CDs certificate of deposit
Is bonds
exchange
like
trade
Bond cheers or different from cheers?
No,
Because
it's different. They fall under what is called fixed derivatives. The fixed
okay.
derivative is a large market of its own. Shares are very fragile. Share market a thing color exact a TV are fragile. They can go up. You cryptocurrency is one of example, which is I cannot advise anyone here to go in because you cannot predict what will happen tomorrow. You will lose or you will gain, and then you will lose overnight while you are sleeping. So in the case, shares is driven by KDB will be how much volume of trade that is happening in the market. In the case price, erratic, yeah, but bonds is agreed, so you are least likely okay. It's secure. Chinman there non koi jam nothing will get it. But with la den, kuyera ni yen pay tiri. Agujite bin wendula yokubadoge. Exactly that's how it works in the government or with all the bonds and in fixed income derivatives. The other one is mutual funds. Mutual funds are non this big business. For example, me, down the line later, I will join up with some people and open a mutual fund where we can collect abuka invest kubuka device could be university could be loyalty you'll invest to them. For example, the top example yes is Vanguard in Melbourne. It's one of the best. The turnover is always like 9% a year, which is really good. So it's another way of investment. The exchange trade funds, yes, it's kind of trades where you can also get a lot of mutual skill, people who have the skill of investing. You give the money, they manage the money for you, and you can invest through them. And buying the currencies, things like buy US dollars, it's $75 today, tomorrow it will be $80, 80 Australian dollars, and you sell the difference. It's called arbitrage opportunity. That little difference, a lawyer on a dollar times thousands of dollars, it gives you the money. There are what is called options. Options are very rare, they are very tricky, they are very fragile. You buy them when you think they are cheap in the hope that they will go up. That is what is called call options. When you put, that means you sell it at that specific time. Whether it's at that specific time, which cheap price, 85, which want to be at 95, you lose zero, and the other person get the other money. The last one is something like annuities, which is practiced by supernations. To buy annuities is more of retirement saving plans, where they can divide it a lot of your money into different portfolios, and you can make, for example, insurance policy, it falls under annuities. That means you buy when you buy your life. That means you die, you will be given 1.2 million, but you got to pay the premium, and that premium will be deducted from your money all the time. So it's another thing. You can either put life insurance outside, and that will be it. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah,
turn the light on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a wonderful insight of financial literacy tonight. In Banyador, Kaja Amit Field Koi Die. And a couple of questions, Chiben, Bagati, Kuwajatok, Yaka Chibagati, Kwan, Chuke, Chuke exhaust. Yen question you teach, question took is around superannuation. And around Giti, why do we need to invest on our superannuation than saving in our own account? I think why do we need to contribute extra money into our super rather than book it save on our own? I think it can
Thank
get
you.
question in.
That's a good question.
Could
Once you
there
put
be
your
marketing?
once you let me answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah. When you put money into the super, you are giving the person the responsibility to add more interest or more profit on your saving. But if you put it into your normal saving account, guess what? It is only
It's
1
not give
point
much.
something now or 0.5% interest when you save in your normal account. Does that help you? No.
Yeah.
I would tend to put it in the superannuation because I know my financial planner now like I invest in the stocks, in the fixed, in all the diversified. Because that means my overall portfolio will be at 9%. So you choose 2% or 1% from your local saving account. But if you salary sacrifice, you will do two things. One, you will invest on a high growth row, you will save on taxes. Instead of paying 42 cents to the government on no gain, you will only pay 15% of your money
With gains.
with
Okay.
gain. So you can see the two benefits. They will take you a
Yeah.
mile.
So I think that's a very good answer. Ian, the final question, you quite baby, kubuku kida buku
Yeah.
wrap up. Ian Ranjiti, Ian is around. Can you tell us about a cryptocurrency like Bitcoins? So I think they want you to elaborate on that a little bit more for a couple of minutes.
Yes, I
One or
actually
two.
eliminate that. I actually don't want to talk about it because I had an opposite
Okay.
opinion when I was doing my master's.
Yeah.
Because we can't, in finance, you need to model something. There is what is called standard deviations, which is the risk in the finance. If someone have heard of something called Black-Scholes, that is where problem come in because cryptocurrency is doing something weird that is not determined because standard deviation is too high. You cannot finger point what it is doing. So it's called volatility there. It's too high. That is risky to invest in it. The high chances of investing in it is when you have a lot of money, so that you know you lost a lot, but you can still gain a lot. So to me personally, unless I don't know your social background in terms of money, but if you have good amount of money, go for it. If you have little money, don't go for it. You're gonna lose it all.
Yen I check a ping with quite yen a word of appreciation of a jalil. What a pleasure. In geologists, Dormakuna Dor. It's a pleasure. Can Ben comment our talk showing in tonight. You get this is the first interview of the year 2022. Yen a chagol on the right foot, and I hope bungot ke kadye kok by coin. I'm going to go through. In late for your time in very tight and busy schedules, but the one thing chabe be this evening a chani late, and I appreciate your time. Keep a jatan batonin by Jamie the Piet, Koja Jipil Mir, can compliment to which you are the Nial, Queen Anajatin. Just an example of how people like Key and Chigre.
Oh, that is John
The section
Apple.
in
Thank
China.
you. I graduated him the same
So,
day. That's good.
uh,
Nice to
so
see him
yeah,
there.
those compliments not only a call look but quite we
Yeah,
cock
yeah.
a jam positively. So gonna near yen key in vanija request yen a chin bia in iman chan you chocolate a little ran will a mon borg the china gain the youth. So yen a gain
Oh,
be a deal you. Karan cholo am with another topic. Could it be had something to do with geology? Could it be had something to do with finance? It's a broad area. KN with your schedule, coming with Gabe, you want in, quite Ben Mies, like what you did tonight. So thank you for that. K Bajaji in opportunity. Bakot aning kicha wan kichidung. K by your final statement. Bajal will Kuyimba Japol, and thank you very much for your time tonight.
In challenge rates, your show is really fruitful. And if you are then we can really big share in the community, because if shows to develop like this, all those live shows
An question part of your closing remarks to be anything on the screen. Question to Ben late. Yeah, but Mark, your closing remark. Thank you. Take it away.
All right. Yes, I see that. It's a tricky part, because the way child support is calculated, a kind of your gross income. So any gross income before you pay the tax, that is how they do percentage calculations of the child support. A child support, that means is a man do biologically queen a take man in a care. So the expense is really and kind of man. I chem koloidi me kage kaya core bakele gam in terms of money. So if it comes to the super is your own money you wouldn't make. Question necessary baka government actually part of the child support, because it's something outside the current use. The usage for your super is only when you retire. It's strictly at the retirement age and above. So by the time you retire, you don't have a child, I guess. Your child will be an adult and does not need child support. So that means the child support is only given when a child is still a child. That means under 17 years, under 18 years. So it will only be calculated on what you make, unless you disappeared and the law warned you that since you still have money and no one knows where you are, we're going to get access to your, but that will come through laws and government regulations and other stuff. So I won't deep into it that hard, because it's outside the jurisdictions of financial culture or what we learn from here. To go ahead with Kochigwer, which I the time Chagaloma Yadam, and actually financial practice, but on my own private time, I do more of it, because I'm 1 week on, 1 week off. So I am 50%, 50%. I do study, I have a big library, and cooking according to I think I answered that question before. A question I answered when jam. If you want me to repeat it,
sorry.
I can say.
No, I clicked the wrong button.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead. Kia call and around you. So how can get information of you?
The education doesn't come cheap. Education is expensive. It has cost me than my geology went jump. So I am planning to have a company. And that company, for me to hold your hands and give you the right decision and guide you on how to be successful in business or in financial analysis, because it cost me over 50,000 in terms of fees and other stuff. So that means what I'm giving you, or a tip of iceberg, but what I know or what I can be accountable that you can pay for will come down the line.
Thank you. I think I could be helping a koi audience. Wrap up.
Yeah. So basically, thanks for your time. Our time is over. So Kenyar, which I believe they were quite time then met to come here And I also appreciate the Conman Hard Talk Show, because without him, I could not appear here, because I don't appear in any lifetime. So most of you know that. And because this is more of educative, and I have been a teacher for 3 years, and probably 80% of my audience can get in. I'm sure they knew me Kaiwu Salvador rather than a geologist at all. So okay, Yeneka Lajara and Benjamin, who and with you next time when you reach me, you either give me friends on Facebook, Kayador Makuna Dorjim and Togenia. I never hide my name. And or inbox me in my messenger. I can give you my phone. And from there, where you want help, we will carry it on from there.
Thank you, in Banyador, Makunador, Kujawi Kwajidai, which you can late. What a great pleasure can book name this session this evening. So Yimba Japol, in Banyador, Kuyen, Ancha Gandhi Jayo. So yen anning topic of interest, Chiba Ben, Dubai, Mir, Simon Channel Will, Kuchio schedule, secret chicken, chicken will align, Kimang would give our approach. And this show, we quite one die, it was driven by the article here, Ador Makuna Dorigor, Pen Tidiagotok, Pen Tiogro last year. It's a good article about financial literacy. Can think, Kawa media war die, and if you're getting, you can approach the right channel. So in God be chogan, a chogan as you did in that article, what you got, and I hope it's chogan of it, cock about the. Thank you for your time. We just late. You be a great night. We a bit of music over Jap Paul. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I will attend a couple of things. So we are hanging around.
Yeah, sorry.
I will and we done couple of things getting around. So and the road near Kuba joking.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, quite one die with your leisure for your time. What you took? Yeah, did the music was what you took. Yen we koi die. We you cake late for your time. Bagi janeng a good night. For a good evening or a good afternoon in other part of the world. Kunyala jabe talking week. Yen ton koi kok. Kuchaga yoga chia late show. Water in different time zones. So we try to balance the time. Ku geologist door makuna door cha late for his time. We call you die. Ku koi bala die. Nyala kin week. And thank you for watching Kunman Hot Talk Show. Yen imijane good night. Ban ador ku inja late for your time. Ku bajane good night ku wabjang ro jabaye. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.